Bangladesh, a nation striving for economic growth, finds itself grappling with the pervasive influence of business syndicates. These groups, operating in the shadows, wield significant control over various sectors, manipulating market forces for their gain. Their actions cast a long shadow on the nation's economic landscape, impacting businesses and citizens alike. The consequences are particularly severe in the market for essential goods, where syndicate activity threatens the well-being of millions. Syndicates thrive on their ability to control supply and demand, often resorting to unethical and illegal practices. They artificially inflate prices, hoard essential commodities, and create artificial scarcity. This manipulation directly impacts the lives of ordinary Bangladeshis, who face inflated prices for basic necessities. The presence of these syndicates undermines fair competition, stifles innovation, and hampers the growth of a healthy market economy. The pervasiveness of syndicates in Bangladesh raises concerns about the effectiveness of regulatory mechanisms and the rule of law. Their continued operation points to potential weaknesses in governance and a lack of transparency. Addressing this issue is not just an economic imperative but also a social one. Failure to curb the influence of these groups will only exacerbate inequality, erode public trust, and hinder Bangladesh's journey towards sustainable and inclusive development. The struggle against business syndicates is a complex one, demanding a multifaceted approach. It requires strengthening regulatory frameworks, fostering a culture of transparency and accountability, and empowering consumers. Addressing this challenge is crucial for ensuring a level playing field for businesses and safeguarding the economic well-being of all citizens. Only through concerted efforts can Bangladesh break free from the grip of these shadowy entities and pave the way for a more just and equitable economic future. The impact of business syndicates is most acutely felt in the market for essential goods. These groups, driven by profit, manipulate the supply of necessities such as rice, eggs, and chicken, causing significant price fluctuations that disproportionately affect low-income households. Their actions have real-world consequences, pushing basic commodities out of reach for those who can least afford them. Rice, a staple food in Bangladesh, is particularly vulnerable to syndicate manipulation. These groups exploit periods of shortage, such as those caused by natural disasters or import disruptions, to hoard rice and drive up its price. This artificial scarcity creates panic among consumers, further fueling the price spiral. The result is that a basic necessity becomes a luxury for many, leading to food insecurity and social unrest. Similarly, the poultry industry, a significant source of protein for many Bangladeshis, falls prey to syndicate control. These groups influence egg and chicken prices through various means, including controlling supply chains, manipulating transportation costs, and spreading misinformation about disease outbreaks. This manipulation results in price hikes that make essential sources of protein unaffordable for a large segment of the population. The consequences of syndicate control over essential goods reach far beyond individual households. The inflated prices of these commodities contribute to overall inflation, eroding the purchasing power of the Bangladeshi taka. This erosion disproportionately affects the poor and vulnerable, pushing them further into poverty and widening the gap between the rich and the poor. The manipulation of essential goods prices creates a ripple effect throughout the economy, undermining social stability and hindering economic growth. While business syndicates play a significant role in driving up the cost of essential goods, it's crucial to recognize that they are not the sole factor. The interplay of natural disasters, market dynamics, and global economic forces also contributes to price fluctuations. Understanding this complex web of factors is essential for developing effective solutions that go beyond simply targeting syndicates. Bangladesh, situated in a geographically vulnerable region, is highly susceptible to natural disasters such as floods, cyclones, and droughts. These events can severely disrupt agricultural production, leading to supply shortages and subsequent price spikes. For instance, the recent series of devastating floods in Bangladesh's northern regions has decimated rice crops, putting upward pressure on rice prices. Attributing such price increases solely to syndicate activity would be an oversimplification and could lead to misguided policy responses. Furthermore, market forces, particularly supply and demand dynamics, play a significant role in determining prices. Global commodity prices, influenced by factors such as international demand, speculation, and geopolitical events, also impact the cost of essential goods in Bangladesh. For example, a surge in global demand for soybeans, a key ingredient in poultry feed, can lead to higher chicken and egg prices domestically. Understanding the interplay of these factors is crucial for developing effective solutions. While cracking down on syndicate activity is essential, it's equally important to invest in disaster preparedness, strengthen agricultural resilience, and enhance market monitoring mechanisms. By addressing these broader issues, Bangladesh can mitigate the impact of natural disasters, promote market stability, and create a more resilient food system less susceptible to manipulation. The Bangladesh government faces the complex challenge of curbing the influence of business syndicates while ensuring a stable market for essential goods. This balancing act requires a multifaceted approach that combines stringent law enforcement, market regulation, and public awareness campaigns. One of the primary tools at the government's disposal is the Antitrust Act, designed to prevent monopolies and promote fair competition. By strengthening the enforcement of this act and targeting syndicates engaging in price fixing and market manipulation, the government can send a clear message that such practices will not be tolerated. Furthermore, establishing specialized task forces dedicated to investigating and prosecuting syndicate activity can enhance the effectiveness of law enforcement efforts. In addition to law enforcement, the government can implement market-based solutions to mitigate the impact of syndicates. One such approach is to encourage greater competition in the market for essential goods. This can be achieved by reducing barriers to entry for new businesses, promoting foreign investment in the agricultural sector, and providing support to small-scale farmers. By fostering a more competitive market environment, the government can reduce the ability of syndicates to control prices and manipulate supply. Public awareness campaigns play a vital role in combating the influence of syndicates. By educating consumers about their rights, the tactics employed by syndicates, and the importance of reporting suspicious activity, the government can empower citizens to become active participants in the fight against market manipulation. These campaigns can be disseminated through various channels, including television, radio, social media, and community outreach programs. Section 5. A Global Perspective: Lessons from the Philippines. Bangladesh's struggle against business syndicates is not unique. Many countries grappling with similar challenges offer valuable lessons and insights. The Philippines, for instance, has made significant strides in combating its own deeply entrenched syndicate problem. By examining the successful strategies employed by the Philippines, Bangladesh can draw inspiration and tailor those approaches to its specific context. One of the key factors contributing to the Philippines' success was the strong political will to tackle the syndicate issue head-on. The government, recognizing the detrimental impact of these groups on the economy and society, made it a top priority to dismantle their operations. This unwavering commitment was crucial for mobilizing resources, enacting legislation, and ensuring the effective enforcement of laws. The Philippines also implemented comprehensive legal reforms to strengthen its antitrust framework and provide law enforcement agencies with the necessary tools to prosecute syndicates. These reforms included establishing specialized courts to handle economic crimes, enhancing penalties for anti-competitive practices, and introducing a leniency program to encourage whistleblowers to come forward. In addition to legal measures, the Philippines government recognized the importance of addressing the root causes of syndicate activity. This involved tackling corruption, promoting transparency in government procurement processes, and fostering a business environment that encouraged fair competition. By creating a level playing field and reducing opportunities for corrupt practices, the Philippines made it more difficult for syndicates to thrive. Section 6. The Power of Perception: Media's Role in the Narrative. The media plays a critical role in shaping public perception and influencing policy responses to the challenge of business syndicates. Responsible journalism is essential for providing accurate information, exposing corrupt practices, and holding those in power accountable. However, it's crucial for the media to avoid sensationalism and generalizations, as these can hinder efforts to address the issue effectively. Investigative journalism is particularly crucial for uncovering the complex networks and operations of business syndicates. By delving into financial records, interviewing sources, and analyzing market data, journalists can expose the inner workings of these groups and bring their illicit activities to light. Such investigations can provide valuable evidence for law enforcement agencies and help build public support for action against syndicates. Beyond investigative reporting, the media has a responsibility to provide balanced and nuanced coverage of the issue. While it's important to highlight the negative impacts of syndicates, it's equally crucial to avoid portraying all price increases as the result of their manipulation. As discussed earlier, various factors, including natural disasters, global market forces, and government policies, can influence prices. Failing to acknowledge these complexities can lead to misguided public anger and hinder efforts to find effective solutions. The media can also play a proactive role in educating the public about business syndicates, their tactics, and the importance of consumer awareness. By explaining how these groups operate, the warning signs of price manipulation, and the channels for reporting suspicious activity, the media can empower consumers to protect themselves and contribute to the fight against these illicit practices. Section 7. Breaking the Cycle: Long-Term Solutions for a Sustainable Future. Addressing the challenge of business syndicates in Bangladesh requires a long-term perspective that focuses on building a more resilient, transparent, and equitable economy. This involves going beyond short-term measures and tackling the root causes that allow these groups to thrive. One crucial aspect of this long-term approach is strengthening institutions and promoting good governance. Weak governance, characterized by corruption, lack of transparency, and inadequate law enforcement, creates an environment where syndicates can flourish. By strengthening regulatory bodies, promoting meritocracy, and ensuring accountability at all levels of government, Bangladesh can create a more hostile environment for these illicit actors. Investing in education and human capital is equally important. By equipping citizens with the knowledge, skills, and critical thinking abilities necessary to participate in a market economy, Bangladesh can create a more informed and discerning consumer base. This, in turn, can make it more difficult for syndicates to manipulate markets and exploit consumers. Furthermore, fostering a culture of entrepreneurship and innovation can help break the stranglehold of syndicates. By encouraging the growth of small and medium-sized enterprises, Bangladesh can create a more competitive and dynamic market. This can reduce the dominance of large conglomerates, which are often more susceptible to syndicate influence. Section 8. Recommendations for a syndicate-free Bangladesh. Drawing upon the analysis presented in the preceding sections, several key recommendations emerge for tackling the challenge of business syndicates in Bangladesh. First, strengthen law enforcement and regulatory frameworks. Enhance the capacity of law enforcement agencies to investigate and prosecute syndicate activity by providing them with adequate resources, training, and legal tools. Establish specialized units dedicated to combating economic crimes. Second, promote transparency and accountability. Enhance transparency in government procurement processes, public contracts, and regulatory approvals to minimize opportunities for corruption and collusion. Implement robust whistleblower protection mechanisms to encourage reporting of illegal activities. Third, empower consumers and foster competition. Launch public awareness campaigns to educate consumers about their rights, the tactics employed by syndicates, and the importance of reporting suspicious activity. Encourage the growth of small and medium-sized enterprises, reduce barriers to entry for new businesses, and promote foreign investment in key sectors to foster a more competitive market environment. Fourth, address root causes. Tackle corruption at all levels of government and society. Promote good governance, strengthen institutions, and ensure accountability for those in positions of power. Invest in education, human capital development, and skills training to empower citizens and create a more informed consumer base. Finally, learn from international best practices. Study and adapt successful strategies employed by other countries, such as the Philippines, that have made significant progress in combating syndicate activity. Collaborate with international organizations and partners to share knowledge, best practices, and resources. By implementing these recommendations, Bangladesh can create a more equitable, transparent, and prosperous society for all its citizens. Section 9. Conclusion: Towards a more equitable marketplace. The battle against business syndicates in Bangladesh is a complex and multifaceted challenge that demands a sustained and comprehensive approach. Eradicating these shadowy entities is not merely an economic imperative but a moral one, essential for safeguarding the well-being of all citizens and ensuring a just and equitable society. By strengthening law enforcement, promoting transparency, empowering consumers, addressing root causes, and learning from international best practices, Bangladesh can break free from the grip of these illicit actors. This journey requires unwavering political will, collective action, and a shared commitment to creating a more just and prosperous future for all. The path towards a syndicate-free Bangladesh will undoubtedly be challenging, but the rewards of a more equitable marketplace, where businesses compete fairly and consumers are protected from exploitation, are well worth the effort. By working together, Bangladesh can overcome this challenge and create a brighter future for generations to come.